over there.
Hey! Hey!
Hey!
1, 2. 1, 2. Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Hey! Hey! What do you want first?
Dude, that's off Blood World.
And the vocals squeaking. Hey, hey, you can turn the vocals down a bit. Check. No, it needs to be a bit louder. Hey! Now play your guitar lick. Yeah, that's good, that's good.
This guy is so incredible. They are so good, dude.
This is a sound check,
Give a little bit of sound check, man.
Okay. Oh, I can. What's wrong with the floor's wobbly? Yeah.
But he like trades with people that have been to other concerts. No, he works at a company. But he doesn't make any money from it though. He doesn't make any money. And when he actually he spends a lot of money doing it.
I spent a lot of money helping bands, dude. Hey Nat, this right here is a perfect spot because I can get Lincoln, Keith, and Steve right here.
dogs. Run it with me. Mortification!
Well, it's a real miracle to be here. Is everybody ready for a bit of fun? Is anybody still outside? Just check my tuning. Let me hear some noise! This is an anti-racism song. It's called Unified Truth.
Baby
Do we have any grindcore fans out there tonight? This song is called At War with War. Okay, every couple of songs I've got to have a bit of a rest, alright? Is that okay? it's an actual miracle that I'm walking. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that I spent 3 months in hospital this year. A lot of people know that I spent a lot of time in hospital last year. Everybody listening? Anyway, after we did the new album, has anyone got Triumph of Mercy? Oh, by the way, just out of interest sake, we got signed by Metal Blade, so we're now going to be in every store that you can imagine, in the Christian market and the mainstream. Of course, we've always had Nuclear Blast happening in Europe, but now we've got Metal Blade happening for the rest of the world, and I think the band is going to really take off from here somehow. Anyway, after we did the album, I had to come off a nasty drug called morphine, and went through a bit of time of pretty hideous withdrawal and went into a comatose state, and they gave me 24 hours to live. I've been given the death sentence 5 times, and the only word the doctors have for me is miracle, which is a pretty good word. See, we organised this tour last November, because the doctors said last November, they said, we can't get your blood pressure and your heart rate down, and you probably won't see the end of 1998. So I said, Satan, you're not going to beat me, I'm going to organise an American tour. But I didn't expect to spend 3 months in hospital this year, and when I woke up, after having brain surgery, of all things, you can feel the hole in my head if you want. You can all line up later. Anyway, they said I'd never walk again, so I was in a wheelchair for 4 to 6 weeks, and I was 2 months in a rehab hospital learning how to walk again, and I've been walking for a couple of months. And the thing is that we had to make a decision on whether we were coming when I was still in the wheelchair, and I talked to my wife about it, and I said, I believe that God's going to raise me up. I believe God's going to raise me up and have me walking and well enough to do the tour. I can tell you this is the biggest step of faith I've ever taken in my life. But once we're up here and playing, all the pain goes away. So I've had enough of rest now. Someone was actually talking about this song before. This song is called Peace in the Galaxy. So it's in a vision of Angelina. Are you ready? Play if you're going to bash me in the teeth. I don't mind you moshing me, you've got to mosh back a bit, please. And I could also fall over very easily because my balance is not good. So please be careful, alright? If you're going to mosh back.
Thanks.
That's right.
We're sorry.
It's alright, I forgive you. Get down on your knees.
Die, lost in lies.
All right. Mr. Lighting Guy, can you leave at least one light on me all the time? Because when they're flashing, my balance isn't too good. If that's okay? Okay, he's got an album called Primitive Rhythm Machine. We're going to do a song called Mortification. Now, we've changed it a little bit.
Oh, really?
So, I hope you like the changes. You'll notice them. Go, Keith.
Should be good.
Are you having fun? Got to tell you a bit of a story about our drummer Keith. Who likes Keith? As we say in Australia, he's a pretty good bloke. Anyway, I might have said this on the last tour, I can't remember. I tend to repeat myself. Are you just talking amongst yourselves, are you? Hey, what are you talking about? Come and tell me.
Listen up!
Yeah, Keith got saved on the first Mortification tour. And that was way back in 1991. He actually came along to the concert, and then he came along to a Bible study that I was holding, and then came along to church and got saved. So that's the way you do it, you know. That's how you bring your friends to the Lord. One interesting thing that's happened with this band is that we have been able to see a lot of people saved. Last year when I was sick and I was going through cancer and cancer treatment, I got lots of cards and emails and faxes. Please don't talk, come on. Just listen, I know it's a metal gig. But I want to try and say some pretty pertinent things tonight, as much as we want to play music, because we've come over here for the reason to to share what miracles God's done in our band and in my life. And I got a fax from a guy last year from Germany, and he said that he took 25 Mortification albums and put little cards in of his youth group inside them, and he took them. There was this bunch of kids that used to sit in the mall on Friday nights and listen to Morbid Angel and all that sort of stuff on their Ghetto Blaster, and he gave them all a Mortification CD, and he said, look, you just sit around on Friday nights, why don't you come along to my youth group? And they came along to his youth group, and 25 kids got saved. Yeah. Anyway, but Keith got saved through the band. This is a lesson for all you Christians. Do you have any Christians here tonight? Yeah! He served the band for 5 years as a roadie, and he'd come on the road and pay his own way. And then when we needed a drummer, he joined the band. So if you have a vision to be a pastor or do something for God, the best way to start out is to be a servant and be happy with doing the little bits and pieces. Anyway, interesting thing about Keith, he wrote one song on the new album and one song on the last album, Vision Evangeline, and they both became the singles off the album. So I think we better get him to write some more songs. Anyway, this is a single of Triumph of Mercy. You might have heard it on the radio. They have Christian metal radio here. Why not? This is called From Your Side.
I see the world, it's wicked ways. Hatred and the pain taking away. How can we be saved in such demise? Rising only
We're just going to have to take a little bit of a break because something's happened to Keith's pedals. Is that thing snapped? I can blab on, that's alright. I'm good at that. Well, next song we're going to do is a song called Welcome to the Palindrome. Sorry we can't take any requests tonight, and we are doing a lot of stuff off the new album. But because I've been in hospital for 3 months this year, it's kind of been a short period of time to get a set together, if you can imagine. We did our first show in 2 years about 3 weeks before we left to come here. And then we actually did 2 shows in Australia before we came here. And whoever saw us at Cornerstone in '96, that was the last one we did before then. And you know, I've had a lot of miracles in my life, as I said before. When I was diagnosed, as I said, I was given a 1% chance to live, and it's kind of pretty daunting when they say that. The doctor said to me, he said, you can either live for 3 months and we can stick you on painkillers and you can go out and have a good time, spend time with your family, or we can try some chemotherapy and see how that goes and see if we can find a donor for a bone marrow transplant. Anyway, I went on chemotherapy for 3 months, which made me very, very sick, and it took the cancer away, but it came back in 2 weeks. The reason I was only given a 1% chance was because I had a chromosome which was holding the cancer in my blood. And anyway, we found out that my father was a bone marrow match for me. He had the same bone marrow as I did. And 70% of people who need a bone marrow transplant don't have a donor. But generally the ones that have one, it's either a sibling, like a brother or sister or a cousin or something. And my father was pretty much 20 years too old to be a donor. He's nearly 60, and they don't usually use people over 40. Anyway, they said that my chances were better with having the transplant than not, but I knew my chance was in Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically what a bone marrow transplant is they give you high doses of radiation and high doses of chemotherapy, which kills off all your bloodstream, and then they give you what's called the stem cell, which is the base of the blood. And what's supposed to happen is you grow a new bloodstream minus the cancer. Now, with the transplant, they gave me about a 25 to 40% chance. But I was confident all along that God hadn't finished with me yet. And I know that God has no favourites, you know, and I've known people that have died. I even had a Christian friend in hospital that had a transplant, and he passed away. There was about 20 of us around the time that I was going in. I had the worst case, and I think there's about 3 of us still alive, maybe 4. So not many people survived. And they said, if you do survive, you'll probably have a few near-death experiences, and you'll end up having a crippled life. And you know, the doctor said that it's absolutely and utterly amazing to them that I can live through what I've lived through, and still be of a sound mind, even though that's questionable. And the bone marrow transplant was a lot more horrendous than I expected. It gave me 3rd-degree burns on my body, and you know, my body was just devastated. I've got some photos actually up at the merchandise table of me during the time that I had the transplant. So if you want to see what I looked like, I was a lot more buff than I am now because I had me on steroids to try and help my system. Because of course you lose your immune system, so in the process of growing a new blood system and being on all these incredible amount of drugs, at one point I had to have a central line, I had to go in here and into my heart. At one point I had 14 drugs going in at once. And no wonder 5 months later, you know, my body collapsed and I had 2 seizures in a day. So maybe some of you heard about the fact that I was given 2 hours to live. And I lived through that, but I was paralysed for 6 weeks. And I had to learn to walk then. And then, I started feeling better. They finally got my heart rate and stuff under control, and my blood pressure, it's still high, but it's reasonable. And so we did the album in March, which was another miracle. And then of course I told you the story about the stuff this year. How we going? Really? What's wrong with that thing snap? Oh well, you're not going to get the brutality, unfortunately. We've only got one kick drum. He's got a double pedal and it is broken. But you can still have fun, eh? Yeah! But if you recognise the double kick parts, he's going to be playing single kick. Right on this song too. Anyway, this song's called Welcome to the Palindrome. And it's one for all you thrashers and grindcore heads and all those sort of people. Be interesting to see how we go with one kick drum. What's busted a chain? The bar in the middle. Sorry, we're just discussing things amongst ourselves. This is a song about how all of our problems and all of the worries we have here on earth are nothing in the light of eternity. This is called Welcome to the Palindrome. one thing that we've done as a band and doing as a band is we're sort of mixing up the sounds a little bit. A lot of metal bands are kind of what I believe one-dimensional in sound. You know, we went and saw some grindcore bands the other night, and we went with we were invited by Metal Blade to go and see some bands for free, so we did. And does anyone remember George Ochoa, who was in Deliverance? Yeah, he was sitting there with me, and there was this grindcore band playing, and every song sounded the same. And George leaned over to me, he said, "Dude, haven't they done the same song 5 times in a row?" And I said, "Yeah, I think they have." I couldn't tell the difference between a song. Anyway, so we have influences from all sorts of different things. Obviously, being a bit of an older fella, I'm about 10 years older than these other two guys. I'm into a bit of classic metal. And this song is basically the message of the band, and that is that we want to be an influence on people's lives to see them won to Jesus Christ.
Exalted self from each far. We brought
Just having a swig, okay? If there's anybody here who knows where there's a local drum shop where we could buy a bar for a double kick pedal, come and see us after the show, okay? Because we're going to need to get one tomorrow. Does anyone know where a drum shop is? Put your hand up. Okay. We might need to... Is there anyone that can meet us tomorrow and maybe lead us there or something? Anyway, come and see us later if possible. Okay. I'm going to give a CD away. Now I want someone to name the first 4 albums that we did on Frontline.
Mortification, Mortification, Scrolls of the Megalon, First Momentary Friction.
That's 3. You have a go.
Self-titled Mortification, the second one's Scrolls, the third one's Post Momentary, the fourth is Blood Wolf.
Yeah.
The fourth is actually the Blind Planetarium.
Okay, this is a Metanoia album. It's on Road Productions, which is my label, death metal band. And what I'm trying to do is not just be one band out there making a difference, but a whole group of bands, you know? And we're going to do a bit of a medley for you. Is that all right? We thought we'd better, you know, include every album that we've done. And we thought it was appropriate to do the song Lymphosarcoma off Scrolls of the Megaloth as part of the medley, because my brother had leukemia and lymphosarcoma when he was 10 years old. And he wasn't given much of a chance to live, but he lived through, so God's been very gracious to our family. Now the doctor said to me the chance of getting the disease that I got was less than being struck by lightning, but having 2 in the family, I've got 3 brothers and 2 of us going through acute leukemia. He had lymphosarcoma as well. Mine was a bit more serious than this because his was childhood. Childhood cancers are usually a lot more treatable than adult cancers. Even though some people probably say I'm still a child. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit of a medley for you. Is he going to be right with this one? He thinks he's going to be alright. It really sucks when things break because you can't play properly.
I'm going to ask him to do this on the front. We'll get it going, buddy.
Okay. As part of this medley, we're going to do the song The Destroyer Beholds. Now, who can tell me what song inspired The Destroyer Beholds? It was inspired by the Smurf song that goes dun 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 dun. And I said, that rules, I'm going to make that into a death metal song. So I'm letting all my secrets out now. People often say to me, they say, your music's really extreme, but it's kind of easy listening. And I tell them that I get influenced by things like the Smurf songs and that. Okay, we're going to go for it. If you're going to go for it, give us a bit of energy, alright? Okay. Hope you enjoy this medley of tunes from the past.
You
Well, the day that I had my bone marrow transplant last year, I was sitting in my hospital bed and I'd had all the radiation and all the chemo and I was having the transplant that night. And I wrote a song, sitting there, thinking about life and death. After that day, I never played my bass for 8 months. And, but that day I thought it would be pertinent to write a song and reflect on how I was feeling that day. And I wrote a song called Raw as the Stonewood Temple. That's kind of a funny name. But what I was thinking about is the fact that nothing lasts forever, even like something that's made of like solid stone really well, like they used to hundreds of years ago. They eventually break down. And we as human beings, as bodies, as flesh, we only have 60, 70 years and 80 if we're strong. I believe I'm going to live to 70 years old. Anyway, then we have eternity. And we either have eternity in heaven or in hell, And the only way that we can have eternity in heaven is to know Jesus Christ as our personal Saviour. Amen. And I was thinking of all these, even things that are made of stone, as I said, that eventually break down. But there's all these cathedrals and stuff in Europe. They're a bit spiritually dead, but they're always renovated and they're kept beautiful and everything, with all the paintings in them, everything, because they're tourist attractions. And I saw myself that day as a broken down temple of God that he was going to build up and renovate into something that he could still use. And I didn't see myself as human waste that was just going to pass away. I never believed that I was going to die, even though I felt like I was going to many, many times. And the interesting thing with the chorus in the song, it says, "Raw as a stonewood temple." In other words, our body is breaking down, but the stained glass windows are shining. Now, if you're a Christian out there tonight, it's been proven that the best way that you can bring someone to the Lord is by showing them that they want to be like what you are. Yeah. And our eyes, the stained glass windows are shining, our eyes have to glow the joy and the grace and the peace that we have in our heart. And our life has to reflect something that, that our friends want in us. All of us should have unsaved friends. Now, I don't know whether you'd agree with that statement, but a lot of us get caught in the church when really we need to be out in the world making a difference. And so this song is about making a difference and showing people that, hey, this life is temporal and then we have eternity, and you want to definitely want to spend that eternity in heaven. It's called Raw as a Stonewood Temple. Yeah, I was telling jokes on the last two, wasn't I? One thing that's really important, you need to join our mailing list so we can stay in contact with you. The mailing list is up at the merchandise table. So, is anyone not on our mailing list? Yeah, so it's a book that's up on the merchandise table, and it did cost us a fortune to get here and come and tour. So if you could support the band by buying some merchandise, that'd be really cool. Okay, do we have anybody here that's into a bit of classic metal? Yeah, I still listen to Sacred Warrior and all those old classic albums. And Recon. And the early Bloodgood stuff was good too. Some of the later stuff I didn't like too much. Yeah, when I first heard it, I thought it was the best thing, you know. Anyway, I wrote this song called Visited by an Angel, and I always finish with this little bit of a testimony. I've told you all about what I've been through, and you can still pray for me because I've still got a few things in the body that need to be fixed up. You know, I was told by everybody not to come, but I knew that I was going to take a step of faith and do it anyway, because people in my condition usually end up on a disabled pension, sitting on the sofa watching soapies all day, and I think, what a waste of a life. I'd rather be out there, you know, doing what God has called us to do. And a lot of people have doubted that we have been called to do this because they don't like the style of music or whatever. They think that, you know, how can you sing like that and be Christian? But God's always looked after us. He's always kept us going. He's always provided for us. He's always blessed us. And it's you guys coming out to the show that keeps us going, you know. And just, you know, pray that we can make some more inroads into the secular market now that we've got bigger secular distribution. Anyway, we're going to do a bit of a classic metal song for you off the new album called Visited by an Angel. And I'll finish with this testimony because it's one that I think can really touch people that are Christians and non-Christians, or backslidden Christians, or wherever you are with God. 3 weeks after I was diagnosed with cancer, around the time that they gave me 1% chance to live, I wasn't on any serious drugs yet, so I wasn't hallucinating or anything. I woke up in the morning and there was a presence in my room, and the front cover of the new album depicts it. And I was being visited by an angel. So if you want to wear a vision, you can buy a t-shirt with a vision on it. There you go, I told a joke. Anyway, it was the most glorious thing that I'd ever experienced, and this presence was shielding itself. It was kind of almost like I was seeing a glimpse of heaven, but it was sort of all that I could bear, you know. And I said, "Who are you?" I didn't say it like that. I kind of, you know, "Who are you?" And it said, "I'm an angel and I'm here to especially minister to you today." And I said, "Don't go away." And it said, "I never do." Back in '95 was the last time we toured Europe, and I must say that I had a lot of fear that someone was going to put a knife in my back. There's a group there called the Black Metal Mafia, and we found out that my name was #1 on their list of death. They have a list of 100 people that they're going to kill. And I thought, all right, we're making some damage to Satan's kingdom. Amen. But I can't say that I wasn't fearful when I went there. And this angel gave me a vision, as the song says, of 1,000 people that hated me. And it said, "What can man do to you?" And I realised then, the worst man could do to you is kill you. And then you have, you know, and I was seeing a glimpse of heaven, and I thought, wow, you know, like, I think it was Paul that said, you know, "I'd rather be at home with the Father, but I know I've still got things to do here." And during this experience, I thought that I was dying. I thought, you know, I'm, you know, coming to be collected, you know. And after this vision, I said, "Don't go away," and it said, "I never do," and I just lay there for a while and basked in all this glory. And being paralysed twice, or motor paralysed anyway, which is paralysed is permanent. Motor paralysed can be permanent, but generally the people that are motor paralysed, eventually the nerves heal, which is what's happening with me. I think God's left me with a few thorns in the flesh, because anyone who's sick will tell you that you have to rely on God. You can't rely on yourself. And learning how to walk again, over the last year or so I've taken 15 or 20 pretty serious falls. A week before we left for the tour, I fell back on my back and head and wrist on a concrete floor. Didn't break anything, I got a scratch. We'd been in Los Angeles about 10 minutes or something like that. We just got to the taxi to the hotel just at the airport, and I fell over a gutter on my face and on my wrist and didn't hurt anything. I've taken falls into wood piles, falls downstairs. I fell downstairs once and Lincoln caught me, he was at the bottom. And I've taken lots of heavy falls when I've been out on walks and stuff, and I've never broken anything, and I've never got a graze, but I think my angel's got a few bruises. But you know, you can believe that or not believe it, whatever you want, but it was very real to me, and heaven is a real place. Heaven is a real place, and we must be born again. So we're going to do this song. Everybody give Keith a hand, he's doing a great job. It's pretty hard when your equipment messes up and you can't. It's like trying to play a guitar without a string on it or something. Okay, this is called Visited by an Angel.
By an angel of soul.
Okay, well, you've been a great audience tonight. We've got one song to go. It's a nice, fast one. It's a story about someone who was on the street and on drugs, and they found that that wasn't the answer. They found the answer was Jesus Christ. This is called Dream Dweller. Jesus Christ Metal! Alright! Good night from Mortification.